Hello, this video is to show you how to do the left hand warm-ups because we're going to be starting to use our left hand to put our fingers down over the next few weeks. So you've all been given a sheet about positioning your left hand. So I'm going to do this not in Mirror Image. I'm actually going to use my left hand so that I can show you in detail exactly how to use it. So just remember, when your children are doing these exercises, they need to do it with their left hand. So you shake out your arm and make it really nice and loose, and then we flop our hand over, and you should be looking for a natural fit for where their thumb and their fingers sort of gently touch each other when they flop them over. So if I just show you like that, it's sort of, the thumb sort of tends to rest between this, we call this finger 1 and finger 2. Then you get a pencil and you put it very gently between the tips of the fingers and the thumb. And again, it should be able to take it out really easily, not gripping it like this. So if you put the pencil in and they start gripping, take it away straight away and try again. So you do it really gently, a bit like with the bow hold. And then we twist the hand so that the fingers slightly line up to the side of the pencil. So if they're gripping it like that, they twist the hand so it goes this way, and then you slowly slide that first finger up and down. I'm showing it you this way, they would do it this way, just so that you can see, and very gently polish the pencil. So shake the hand out, flop it over naturally, place the pencil between the thumb and the fingers, slightly turn the fingers so that they're in line with the pencil, and slide that first finger back and forwards. Okay, so that's the pencil exercise. The next section is we put our violins up on our shelves and we rest the thumb at the base of the scroll, and we do a lovely bounce to make sure everything's nice and loose, and we do our left hand pizzicato. Now I know some of the children don't like doing their left hand pizzicatos. If you can just get them to do a little tiny bit, especially with their fourth finger on the E string, maybe challenge them to see how many they can do in a minute. Or try and find some sort of game to do it. But just, 1 or 2 plucks is absolutely fine, but we do need to get those fingers starting to move. And then we've got our sticker, which is exactly halfway between the bridge and where the strings are held near the scroll. And we call that our halfway harmonic, but it's the first fairy note that we've learnt. And they rest probably their 1, 2, 3, their ring finger, which we call the third finger, on it. But at this point they can use any finger they want up at the halfway harmonic. So they might want to use their second finger, which is their middle finger, or they can use their third finger, or they can stretch out their first finger, or they can have a go at using their fourth finger. They can use any finger they want for their halfway harmonic, and we can make up little tunes using those fairy notes. Right, once they've done that, make sure everything gets nice and relaxed. Give it a little shake. Now, here we're now moving the hand from the base of the neck to the end of the neck where the scroll is. This is your scroll. So again, we shake out the arm, flop it over, and the hand needs to fall in a really nice relaxed position. And you'll see this time, instead of the fingers and the thumb touching, this time there's a V between the side of the fingers and the thumb. Now the violin neck rests very gently between the side of the finger and the tip of the thumb. The thumb doesn't have to do anything, it doesn't have to squeeze to hold the violin in place. The fat bit of the thumb is enough, the friction of that is enough, if it's pointing upwards, to just keep the violin in place. So, shake out the arm. This is obviously for your information. For the children, it will just be done instinctively. If they let the hand go really floppy and just hold it gently, then you place the violin, or they can do it with their other hand, up on the shelf, and then the violin comes in between that V. So if you can see there, the thumb just stays still and the hand stays still. There's no gripping so that you can't lift the violin out again. It's a really gentle, it just slots in. Please be aware, it doesn't go down right to the bottom, down there, and the thumb goes right above. It needs to be slightly hooked on the fat of the thumb and the side of the finger. Okay, so once you've got that nice loose position, see if they can waggle their elbows again. And this time we're finding another fairy note. And the second fairy note that we're learning is called the quarter harmonic. So between the halfway harmonic and the end, if you measure halfway between then again, we cut the string in a quarter, and there's another harmonic there, which is our second fairy note. So shape the arm, get the V, slot the violin into that V, and this time it does matter which finger we use. We're going to use the ring finger, which we call finger number 3, and I'll talk to them about finger numbers next week. And you very gently on any string rest. Now these harmonics are not as clear as the halfway harmonics. They're very, very delicate, and if they're not quite coming out, make sure they're doing good big bows, and they might need to move the finger about. But the finger on the string, it's not pressing down at all, it's literally just touching the edge of the string. And the thumb isn't gripping, it's just very gently on the outside. So this should be a really loose exercise. I apologise about the squeakiness. Now, the last thing to do, and this is one group has already had a go at doing this, is melting our fairy notes into the strings to make a real note. Okay? And we've learned a song, Lo-dee, Lo-dee, Hi-dee. And I'll show you that in a different video. So we're trying to find that high D. So if you find your quarter fairy note on your A string, so play your open A string and then very gently rest the third finger on the star to find that fairy harmonic, and then you very gently push up with the thumb. You just stroke the neck of the violin and it slightly strokes up as the finger melts down. And I use the word melt rather than push or squeeze or press, because those words imply that you have to do it really tightly, and we don't. We literally let the finger melt onto the string, so there's just enough pressure to get the string onto the fingerboard. And to counterbalance that pressure, the thumb just strokes very gently upwards. So it's a real gentle sort of massagey, melty feeling of getting that finger onto the string. We don't want any gripping. And it turns the fairy note into a real note. And you can tune your left hand. Lo-dee, hi-dee, lo-dee, hi-dee. So we know if it's in tune because it's an octave above the low D string. So you're tuning your left hand. So shake it out, get the V, find the harmonic, and melt into the string with the thumb slightly stroking up and the finger melting down onto the string, and then you tune. Now on some of the violins, the harmonics and the real note are slightly out, so the finger might have to slide back a little bit to get it exactly in tune. But that makes them listen, and that's really important that they're listening to see whether it sounds right. They've all sung the Lo-dee, Hi-dee song, and they sang it beautifully in tune, so if they can sing it, they can definitely hear it. So it might seem a lot to do, but that is, and it seems a bit technical this week, but that is how we're going to get the left hand working. So have fun doing those exercises. You don't have to do them all at once, and you definitely don't have to do the melting into the string if you don't feel that your child is ready for that this week. Have fun, and I'll see you next week.